Hey guys, it's Noah Wilson here from iHollywoodTV, the TV show. Welcome to another episode right here on GlewedTV, airing exclusively on their platform. You may know my next guest. She has touched millions of people with her audition on America's Got Talent, the season 16, Sweet 16. She is here joining me this morning to speak about her life, her career, her journey of how she got to where she's at today. Please welcome the one, the only, the oh so fabulous Nightbirde joining us here on Skype. Hi.
Hi, thank you so much for having me on today.
Oh, yes, you're here at iHollywoodTV. It's great to have you here.
You know what? This is going to be a great talk, and I'm just so excited to share everything with you.
Girl, me too. I must say, congratulations to you. Simon Cowell pushed that buzzer. The gold confetti flew out of the cannon from the sky or wherever it came. And like I told Nightbirde, she is going to win. I full wholeheartedly believe it. She's going to win this thing. I'm rooting for you all the way. So congratulations to you. How has the reaction been? You just been getting an outpour of love and support from people across the nation. And you're like still trending, I believe, on YouTube with your audition tape. What?
I could never have imagined this. I could have never made it up. I'm blown away. Absolutely blown away. You know what? It would have been enough for me just to have that moment with the confetti and just sang my song and had this beautiful confetti moment. That would have been more than enough. And it's just continued to go on and on all over the world.
First off, I want to know, and I'm sure a lot of our fans would like to know, how are you doing? How are you feeling in this moment right now?
Oh, right now I'm doing great. All signs are pointing to the fact that I will be cancer-free sometime very, very soon.
Oh my gosh.
So we're just kind of waiting it out. We did some final last few treatments, and now we're going to wait a few months before we go in and check the whole body to see how everything's set in. So everybody out there who prays, pray for me and pray that we get the news that we're hoping for.
Well, I'm going to be praying for you. I believe in the power of prayer. So everyone, send a little prayer to Nightbirde and, let's get her, on her way to well. We're going to talk about AGT. During your audition of AGT, you were really ill with your battle of breast cancer. Kind of take us back to the audition, like when you were walking on stage, what were you thinking in the moment? Like, how were you feeling during that audition tape to where you're at right now, which, you're doing, pretty good, like you just said.
I'm doing much better now. At the time when I went to do the audition, I, still had tumors more than what I've got now. I'm hoping there's barely anything left at this point, but I had tumors in my lungs that were preventing me from even getting a full deep breath. So I was real nervous about getting up there, and I knew I wasn't at my best. I was really, really thin. I'm naturally really thin anyway, but at the time I was about 85 pounds. Wow. And I hit it really well with these baggy pants and tried to make it, a vibe. But like the truth was I was real thin. And I was standing in the back just getting a pep talk from, the other contestants standing back there just telling me that, I can do it and just to be in the moment. And when I got up there, that was the only plan I had. I kind of just let it all go and just thought, you know what? The people's response to me is not my responsibility. It's not my job. I'm going to do what I can do. I'm going to share my story. I'm going to share my song. I'm going to be a gift the best way that I know how to. And the response is not in my hands, and I'm not going to try to control it. And that's why I was able to get out of my head. Because if I had made it about trying to be impressive, I probably would have been very nervous and really tight.
Yeah. Well, it was a great audition. I think it's one of the best out of this season, probably out of many seasons that I've seen on AGT. Like I was telling Nightbirde before we hopped on here, we just have not heard any really touching, moving stories like this in a very long time, to see on television. We just, like I was telling her, we hear about, shootings and just like bad news. And I think this was something that America was just ready to see, something good, something of a woman, even though she has cancer, and cancer can knock people down, but this is a woman that has faith and, is just going strong and, knows peace and just prays that everything's going to be okay. And I think that's, you know, I mean, you're such an inspiration to so many, and I think that's why so many have fallen in love with you, is because our world, you know, it is lost. You know, we need faith, we need hope. How do you keep the faith, my friend, and keep a positive outlook on life, knowing you are dealing with something, you know, that so many of us can't even really imagine? You know, we can't even put ourselves in, you know, your shoes of what you have went through in your life.
Yeah. Well, especially this past year, going through so much. You know what? I'm not the only one that went through a hard time this year. Like, the world has been on fire. Everybody has been screaming. It's been so hard for people to know what the truth is. It's just, it's been chaos in the world, and that's all we hear day to day. And for me, on top of that, you know, I was going through a divorce, and I was given 6 months to live, and I was in a lot of pain. And as things got worse and worse and worse and worse for me, I just started to realize, I just felt like it was infinite. Like, the capacity for pain and loss and agony, I was like, it's infinite and it's never ending. And then something snapped in my brain, and I thought, okay, so if the human capacity for heartbreak is so infinite in this one way, then, like, can't it also be infinite for joy? Like, doesn't it also move infinitely in the opposite direction? And so I just reached really deep and tried to believe and tried to remember that, as deep as the pain goes, the joy can and the hope can go that deep too. And it's harder to pull yourself up because hope is climbing up, and that's always going to hurt. But that's kind of what I chose to do. And I wasn't always sure that it would pay off, to be honest.
Well, you are just such a bright light. You're shining so bright. You found your light, you know, from the darkness. Like you just said, you know, you went through a divorce, and, you know, you, on top of that, you know, you got breast cancer. But, you know, you're really making the best out of everything that's went on in your life. So now let's talk about your single that is so inspiring. I love this. It's actually on my Spotify playlist right now. It's on repeat, by the way. I was listening to it before we were, you know, I'm like, yes. I'm like, Nightbirde's coming on the show. Let's play the song, you know, and you have a couple other songs, you know, that are actually out on iTunes. So everyone can, you know, we'll definitely direct our audience to that. But your single, It's Okay, is a song that you wrote from getting sick and fighting for your life. What made you want to introduce this song, perform this one for your AGT audition?
That song, It's Okay, it's the song that I needed to get myself through. I don't know how I would have made it through without that song. And I do write songs for other people, and usually I don't listen to my own music. Most artists will say the same. But that song, It's Okay, I would listen to my own voice, singing it to my own soul. It is okay. It is okay to be lost. And I say this a lot, but it's that brave part of me speaking to the scared part of me, and speaking to my own heart and saying, get up, get up. It is okay. It's okay. And I wanted to share that with the world. Like you said, everybody is so lost right now. And if my story can help people feel a little bit more hope about the state of the world, then what an honor that is.
Yeah. How would Nightbirde describe It's Okay to Not Be Okay?
Well, somehow we all feel this pressure to not let people see the broken parts of us. It's a lie. And we all think that we have to present ourselves all together, all in one piece, with all the questions answered. We know everything that we believe and why. We know, you know, and nobody's like that. Nobody's like that. We're all, I don't know a single person that doesn't have broken pieces. And I felt like such a failure this last year because I didn't understand what was happening. I didn't understand what I did wrong to make this happen. You know, I didn't understand if it would get better or why, or if I was doing the right things. And I felt like I should have had it more together. And so many people feel like they should have had it more together. And no, you do not have to have it more together. And the more honest you are about the real person that you are and all the pieces that you are, the more loved you'll actually be, because people are loving you for you and all your pieces. And that's what it's been to show up like this. And like, this is a story I'm still in. I'm still walking in this story. And I'm not in one piece by any means. But isn't it amazing that in in all my broken pieces, I can still like stand here and tell people like it's okay. Like, you don't have to be perfect before you start changing the world.
As I mentioned earlier, I want this interview to hopefully empower other women and just
Mhm.
anyone that's watching this morning. But, when did you know, Nightbirde, that something wasn't right and you made that step forward to make a doctor's visit before finding out that you had cancer?
This happened way back in 2017, and
Oh,
I felt
wow.
a lump. And I am not a worrier at all. So
Mm-hmm.
I was like, it's probably nothing. It's probably no big deal, and went on with my life. Um, and it was probably a whole year later when I finally went in to get it checked with a biopsy, and that's when it came back as cancer.
Mm, mm. Now, after your diagnosis, your doctor even told you that you needed to speak about, or needed to speak to a death counselor. What? What type of doctor was this? Not, no, no.
Right. Uh-huh. Honey, girl, no, thank you. I ain't talking to no death counselor. What's
Yeah.
wrong with you?
What? Okay. Oh.
Um, yeah, so my first diagnosis was pretty mild, honestly. So that happened in 2017. Second diagnosis happened in 2020. New Year's Eve, I was sick lots of different ways. Didn't know what was going on. Finally went to a doctor who said it was cancer and I had 3 to 6 months to live, 2% chance of survival. And that's when she said, I think you need to meet with a death counselor here at the hospital and
Wow.
just process emotionally everything that's happening and going to happen.
Wow, that's so crazy for someone to say that to
Mhm.
somebody, when they really, I guess, don't fully know. And now look at you. Now what can that doctor say? Look at her now. She's going. She's winning. She's doing it all. Oh, yeah, I'm
Mhm.
just so happy and so proud of you. So after everything that you've been through in your own personal life, would you say your cancer diagnosis made you a more stronger person than what you are?
That's a good question. I don't know if it made me stronger or if it just revealed the strength that I already had.
Yeah.
Um, I think everybody has this like deep immovability and strength in them.
Mhm.
And when somebody has to suffer, then and overcome hardship, all it does is remove the veil and show what that person already was.
Mhm.
Um, so I think that's more what it is.
What are some of the messages that you've received from fans across the world that have impacted or really touched you the most? Because I'm sure a lot of fans have been reaching out to you to share their love for your audition and to also share their story.
My favorite kind of reactions that I get are from people that are it's from people who are in their own pain in a completely different scenario.
Hmm.
I wrote this blog called God is on the Bathroom Floor, and it's about how if you feel like you can't see God, you just need to look lower because He is in the lowest of places. And I've had so many responses to the song and also to that blog. It's at nightbirde.co if you want to read it. But um, from people that can be from Australia, Africa, the Philippines, who experience the same thing, that same lostness, that same pain, and to say, like, you just put words to everything I've been feeling, and now I'm not so alone in the world.
Mm.
That means everything to me.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And we need more faith and love and hope. And we need to, see a lot more of that incorporated into television, just in our daily lives.
Mm,
I'm a strong believer of Jesus Christ and God and, faith. I'm a very, spiritual person as well.
mhm,
But, God can change it all. He can help you through the thick and the
mhm.
thin. And it's just so great to hear you speak about that because in this world of entertainment we don't hear a lot of people talk about their religious beliefs or and I think it's very important to just be yourself and to just to have a conversation about things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know when stuff got off track, but it's almost like there's this whole idea of like tolerance and acceptance and all of this, but for some reason people are afraid that they're not going to be tolerated or accepted if they're honest about what they believe. And
Isn't that
there's,
crazy?
and there's so many of us out there that do believe in Jesus and do have faith and
Mm-hmm.
deep spirituality and connection with God. And it's okay if not everybody believes that way, but
Yeah.
and I'm not going to be the rude person at somebody's dinner party ruining the whole vibe. You know what I mean? Trying to
Yeah.
push what I believe in other people's face.
Right.
However, it's so important and it's so beautiful and it's worth sharing. And
Mm-hmm.
um, I hope that more people feel the freedom to talk about it.
Yeah, and it just makes you feel good too, and that good uplifting faith, faithful type music. I love listening to that in the car. I can listen
Hmm.
to that all the time.
Yeah,
Especially on
put
a
on a
bad
little
day.
Lauren Daigle and let me just get down with the Lord.
Yes.
Uh
Oh
huh.
my goodness. Over the many years of AGT auditions, how do you hope others will remember you and your audition tape from years to come?
Oh, that's such a good question. Um, you know what? People, when they watch it, they kind of say, I don't know what came over me when I
Hmm.
watched it, but I felt it. What they say is, I didn't know I was broken until I heard you sing and it healed me.
Hmm.
And I hope that as this audition continues to live on the internet, until, the end of time or whatever, that it will just continue to be a song and a story of triumph and healing. And and I love it because people didn't walk away from seeing my audition and just say, wow, she's amazing, or a good singer, or a good song, or beautiful, or whatever. It
Hmm.
wasn't about me, but it was about everybody seeing something in themselves that they
Hmm.
really to see, and getting a sense of power over their circumstance.
Yeah.
And I hope it's always like that.
So, as the world gets to know you, gets to know Nightbirde, what are some things that we don't know about you that you would like to share with us today? Like, what are some of the things that you like to do in your free time when you aren't singing or performing on a stage?
Hmm, that's a good question. Okay, well, let me see. I'm just a ridiculous person. I just want to do crazy stuff. I I I love to have fun. I'm impossible to embarrass. I'll tell you that.
Mm.
It is next to impossible to embarrass me. You could drop my pants in the middle of the freezer section at Walmart and I would just stand there and let y'all be embarrassed. I love being goofy and cutting up, and I don't take myself too seriously. I think
Me either.
that's probably the part of me that people don't really see, because everything I talk about is usually so serious.
Yeah.
But the truth is, I just like to be goofy, and you gotta laugh
Oh,
at yourself.
me too. I'm a
Yeah.
funny, type guy. I love to have fun. I love to keep the light bright. I love to make other people,
Hmm.
just laugh and feel good. And I can get that, vibe from you. That's what you like to do. And, you're definitely putting out so much good in the world. Now, if you win AGT, as I've been saying throughout this entire interview,
Keep
spoiler
saying
alert to the AGT people. No, I know, but really, I hope so. Come on now.
it. Hmm.
What will you do with the money as far as next steps in your music career? Because I think you win like $1 million. Is that right? Is it a million or
Yes,
10 million?
you win $1 million. It can be 10 million. We can write some. Everybody write a check. Uh,
Yes, send it to Nightbirde.
pull together. My big dream is to put out, this amazing, uplifting, honest dance pop record, get on a huge tour, like put me in a stadium with Coldplay, send me to Colombia and Brazil,
Girl,
and send me
yes.
to Wembley Stadium, send me everywhere, and I'm on it. I'm on it. Get me some little chunky boots and an oversized tee, and then put me on like a like a neon blazer,
Oh,
shoot off some,
yeah.
pyro. Let me out of the gate. I'm ready to roll.
So, lastly, I want to ask you, what are some of your goals that you want to achieve in your lifetime?
I definitely want to write a book that details all of it. There's so much. When I do these interviews, like we have, 20, 30 minutes, and then we got to even cut it from there. But there's so much more, like, just beautiful parts of my story that are so meaningful and stuff that you almost wouldn't believe. And I'm so excited to get that all in one place one day. I want to travel the world even more than I have already, and just, I don't know, taste life for all that it is. Like, I'm not going to get caught up in this, like, Hollywood vroom vroom life and lose out on, like, what life actually is. Like, because when I've been on my deathbed 3 times now, and when you're on your deathbed, you're not thinking about, I want to get the golden buzzer. You're not thinking about, I wish I was on an arena stage. You're thinking about, I want to be with people that I love. I want to laugh. I want to cook together. I want to sit around a fire and drink wine and tell stories.
Absolutely.
Like, that's what you're thinking about when you're on your deathbed. And that's what life is for me. That's what makes life full. And all this celebrity stuff, don't get me wrong, I eat it up, love it, am having the time of my life. But that's extra. That's an extra gift. That's not the substance of life.
Amen to that. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Never change. Oh my gosh, you are just, I love how you are. I just love the person you've become. And I think that's why so many people have fallen in love with you, is because, we don't see such grounded, humble people like yourself today. We see people spiral out of control or go cuckoo bonkers. And we're like, what's wrong with them? And
don't speak too soon now, okay? It's only been a couple weeks.
Oh my goodness. Well, this has been such an amazing conversation. I hope this has been a joy for everyone to watch and to learn more about your life, and hopefully it's empowered other women, maybe that have went through some of the same things that Nightbirde has gone through. But you are such a light, and you're just so gifted and so talented, and just so much greatness has came into your life, and I'm just beyond thrilled and happy for you, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen next. I want to ask you, when does the live show start for AGT, or can you say that, or is that kind of like a confidential thing at the moment, or?
I don't have my date yet, but the first live show will happen on August 10th. Okay. August 10th, 17th, and 24th are that first, semifinals rounds. So I'll be on for one of those, yeah.
Thank you so much again for the lovely conversation, and just, you are just such an inspiration. I just adore you, and I love you.
Oh, it's been amazing to talk to you. I really hope we get to talk again, honestly.
Yes, me too. You take care and have a great rest of your week, my friend.
I will. You too.